Hi everybody, we have one short chapter. Just be sure this chapter is read before you come to group today. Remember, our new group times, you're either coming at 11 or 11:30, depending on your group. There is a question for today that I'd like for you to answer, but the question does not have to be done by group. You have, the whole day to work on that. So I don't want you rushing in the question. You just need to listen to this short chapter, which is just a few pages. But I do want to talk about the question. When you are writing your question, I'm making it worth 5 points. A point for a topic sentence, a point for each of your examples, and a point for a concluding sentence. So let's see how well you can do with that. And your question is going to be, in your opinion, what is your opinion of the warden? And you can use evidence from anything we've read so far. It doesn't have to be from chapter 17. Anything that we've read. So listen, in chapter 17, she's going to do some things, and you're going to want to have an opinion, like, in my opinion, the warden is a wonderful, kind, loving lady. Then you would need 3 things to support that, and then you would conclude. But I have a feeling you're not going to choose that as your topic sentence. All right, here we go with chapter 17 on page 77. For the next week and a half, the boys continued to dig in and around the area where X-Ray had supposedly found the gold tube. They widened X-Ray's hole, as well as the holes Armpit and Squid had been digging, until the 4th day, when all 3 holes met and formed one big hole. As the days wore on, the warden became less and less patient. She arrived later in the morning and left earlier in the afternoon. Meanwhile, the boys continued to dig later and later. "This is no bigger than it was when I left you yesterday," she said, after arriving late one morning, well after sunrise. "What have you been doing down there?" "Nothing," said Squid. It was the wrong thing to say. At just that moment, Armpit was returning from a bathroom break. "How nice of you to join us," she said. "And what have you been doing?" "I had to, go." The warden jabbed at Armpit with her pitchfork. So those are those big fork-like shaped things that people use on a farm to stab the hay and throw it. So the ends would be very sharp. So she just jabbed him with the pitchfork, knocking him backward into the big hole. So she hit him so hard with that she knocked him into the hole. The pitchfork left 3 holes in the front of his shirt and 3 tiny spots of blood. "You're giving these boys too much water," the warden told Mr. Pendanski. They continued to dig until late afternoon, long after the other groups had finished for the day. Stanley was down in the big hole, along with the other 6 boys. They had stopped using the wheelbarrows. He dug his shovel into the side of the hole. He scooped up some dirt and was raising it up to the surface when Zigzag's shovel caught him in the side of the head. He collapsed. So Zigzag just hit Stanley in the head with his shovel, and it knocked Stanley down. He wasn't sure if he passed out or not. He looked up to see Zigzag's wild head staring down at him. "I ain't digging that dirt up," Zigzag said. "That's your dirt." "Hey, Mom," Magnet called. "Caveman's been hurt." Stanley brought his fingers up to the side of his neck. He felt his wet blood and a pretty big gash just below his ear. Magnet helped Stanley to his feet, then up and out of the hole. Mr. Sir made a bandage out of a piece of his sack of sunflower seeds and taped it over Stanley's wound. Then he told him to get back to work. "It isn't nap time." When Stanley returned to the hole, Zigzag was waiting for him. "That's your dirt," Zigzag said. "You have to dig it up. It's covering up my dirt." Stanley felt a little dizzy. He could see a small pile of dirt. It took him a moment to realize that it was the dirt which had been on his shovel when he was hit. He scooped it up, then Zigzag dug his shovel into the ground underneath where Stanley's dirt had been. Geez. Okay, get mad at somebody and just hit him with a shovel or stab him with a pitchfork. A little bit of violence in that chapter. Hope you didn't get too upset. So don't forget, your question is not due by the time group is meeting. And we can talk about things for your writing in our group. But try your best, take your time, and really think about having those elements. They're all written down in the directions, so all you have to do is look at the directions and I tell you exactly what to put in your writing. All right, so what is your opinion of the warden? And again, you can use anything in the whole book. It doesn't have to just be chapter 17. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.